Okay, so we're back. We're awaiting the finals. The players are going to take a few minutes to collect themselves before we get started. So Anurag will discuss the deck lists and or Anurag, Shark Man, Shark Boy over there. I just brought up. So I remembered vaguely in the back of my mind there was a movie, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Apparently it was in 3D. Came out in 2005.
Do not watch this movie. I promise you, it is not worth it. I promise you, it's not worth it.
The IMDb rating of the Shark Boy movie is 3.5 out of 10. That is low. So, probably it might be worth comparing the Shark Boy suit in the movie versus Anurag's actual shark costume and see which is better or not. That's a compliment to you because yours might actually be better if the movie is at 3.5.
Oh God, it reminds me of like back in the day they had like the Spy Kids series. It's just like on that tier, and I mean,
you've actually seen this movie. Okay, so let me ask you this: was your inspiration for your costume from Shark Typhoon or from the movie?
It was actually from the Katy Perry halftime show.
Yes,
that's what that's where the costume was taken from, and yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. There's literally, it's just like, it's lying right here, and it just looks so like limp and helpless, and I can't help but feel like moved by these sharks. And you should too, Twitch chat. I'm just kidding. Sorry, getting carried away here.
All right, well that's okay. Well, you can burn out all the energy you have left because we only have one more match. So as the players are getting themselves ready, let's go ahead and take a look at our matchup.
Yep.
And what's left of our bracket? We had 105 players. And now we're down to 2. We have Andrew Fiedler, our number 1 overall seed, playing Sneak and Show against Adam Wallace, our number 3 seed, playing Elves.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting matchup for sure. I've played a lot of Legacy Joe, and this is one of those matchups that I don't feel like it's changed too much over the years. I do think this is going to be somewhat in the favor of Sneak and Show, especially depends on the deck construction of both players' decks. But, I mean, that being said, it was a journey to get here, right? So we saw, Adam was able to beat Doomsday and then was able to beat Rug Delver. And then, sorry, other way around. Andrew was able to beat Doomsday and Rug Delver. And Adam, defeated Death and Taxes and also just, we saw the ending where, 5 I gotta compose myself. 5 points of power came across the table and ended the game against Snoko. In this matchup, I think it's going to be a lot more fast-paced. The issue is that the Sneak and Show deck is going to be one of those that is, it's got a fast combo, but it's also got controlling elements in the form of counter magic. So we've got Spell Pierces and Force of Wills to just, slow down the impact of natural orders and Glimpse of Natures. I guess we're going to take a look at the deck list right now.
All right, good. Let's go ahead and bring those up. I actually have some thoughts about Elves and how it might have a better chance than we expect, but or at least than I would have initially expected. But let's go ahead and look at the Sneak and Show deck. Again, we've seen the main deck a couple times now, and what's going to come into play in the sideboards really are these Pyroclasms, the Kozilek's Return, the Lightning Bolt, all these removal spells. These are strong, especially the sweepers. They can really put, and it's really all that Andrew gains after boarding, but that's a lot. Those are very good cards. And we may see similar boarding to what we saw. Actually, I don't think we will. I was going to say we'll see similar boarding to last time. I disagree with myself. I don't think we will. I don't think Omniscience can go out. And let me tell you why. Because I was just thinking about this real quick during the break. As in the past, if we went Show and Tell Gristlebrand against Elves and then drew like 14 cards and passed the turn, they're done, right? There's nothing they can do. There's no way they can get through our counters. That's not true anymore, because if we draw 14 cards and pass the turn, if they play Allosaurus Shepherd, we can't counter anything. So it doesn't matter how many cards we have.
That's a good one.
It's possible that Show and Tell followed by Gristlebrand is not safe. You might actually have to win the turn you go off. So that's an element that didn't exist a year ago, and I'm curious to see whether it actually plays out that way.
Super interesting. Yeah, plus there are a couple of heavy hitters there, like putting an Archon of Valor's Reach into play, naming instant off Show and Tell, or putting in like maybe a sideboard Progenitus if it comes to it could be pretty punishing too.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be close, and the more you mention it, like putting Allosaurus Shepherd into play off of Show and Tell is actually such a money move that I hadn't actually considered, and I'm kind of hoping that we get to see it happen.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and look at the Elves deck. We don't even have to, I mean, Allosaurus Rider itself is uncounterable, and I don't believe in game one it can get killed. So this is a card that's going to be really nice to see in opening hand for Adam, especially in game 1.
Yeah, it's going to have to be something like Cunning Wish for Kozilek's Return, which is so clunky in mana.
Right. And that's a couple turns. That's why Omniscience is going to play a bigger role, I think, than it did in the last matchup.
Yeah,
because I can't really wrap my head around this, but I think Elves has a better chance of surviving a longer game than Delver does, because it can actually recover from resolved big creature. Let's go ahead and see how this plays out. I think we're ready. All right, so I think Adam was number 1 seed, so I believe he'll be on the play. And we have a turn 2 show and tell and no body yet, but I think with the brainstorm, I think we're keeping, right? We have to be.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, worst case scenario, you go turn 2 Cunning Wish for Intuition, and then you can, Intuition for something that way.
Yeah. So we have, I think this has to be a keep. We have the potential to just basically end the game on turn 2. Like my talk about Elves being able to fight off a Gristlebrand, that's, hypothetical, and also, a few turns into the game. It's not going to happen on turn 2, I wouldn't think, although getting to drop something for free does matter for Elves. They could be dropping an extra land, an extra, one of these creatures, anything really. So we were watching from Adam's perspective, and while the players entertain their thoughts on how they want to start here. Again, this is this didn't come up today, so I haven't even mentioned it. But during the Swiss, the players were on 25-minute round clocks. In the elimination rounds, we're on the full 40-minute clocks. So the timers that you see, if you're actually looking at on the left side of the screen near where their avatars are, that is actually their time remaining during this match.
Okay, so they actually get a reasonable amount of time to mulligan decisions are much more important in games that last like 3 or 4 turns. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
it's absolutely important to. I mean, we look at these kind of hands and we think, damn, Brainstorm is there, snap it off. But the reality of the situation is that there are fail cases, and you have to really hedge for the worst case scenarios. And if you have the time, it pays off to put some thought into it.
Yeah, and in this case, the fail case looks like turn 4, because like you were saying, we could Cunning Wish for Intuition and then Show and Tell on turn 4 to guarantee. Now that, not to say that would be fast enough, but that is where we're at. And we did have a mulligan from the Elves side.
Okay, so Nettle Sentinel is going to be the turn 1 play off a Savannah. Now, keeping in mind that I feel like this version of the deck could be a little bit better suited to fight against Sneak and Show compared to the Reclaimer version. Like, obviously, the Reclaimer version will have access to Karakas in the main deck, but this is definitely a deck that is this list is much more combo centric with the inclusion of the 4 copies of Nettle Sentinel.
All right, I'm going to cut you off right here because it's interesting. We had a development already as the Brainstorm did not get cast at the end of turn 1. So this is I think a demonstration of the fact that Sneak and Show feels like it doesn't have to go off immediately. So it can take the time to fire up a full Brainstorm, be able to shuffle afterwards and not get locked. That's interesting. It may very well be right. I'm not confident that it's right, but it definitely could be.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. I think especially, well, the thing is like it sometimes feels like the Elves combo is based off of momentum, right? You need a couple things in play to actually, fire off. You need to have the requisite amount of mana. You need to have the requisite amount of bodies and, untapping effects and things like that. I mean, albeit the deck is very consistent at doing it, but there is still that amount of setup that is required. And so for that reason, I definitely do not mind Andrew playing the game a little bit more slowly, just saying, hey, let's just play some good Magic. Brainstorm is going to cycle away 2 bad cards, and then we can keep something super, super powerful. Like, just imagine if, this Brainstorm finds something like Gristlebrand, right? And then you suddenly go Show and Tell, Sneak Attack, Gristlebrand, pay 7,
right.
Lotus Petal, Emrakul, you're dead, that kind of deal.
Right. I would have liked to see this Brainstorm main phase, though. If we're holding it, and we may as well cast it, because if we find a Ponder, then we could cast that also. So I don't feel great about how that developed.
And this should do it, right?
Brainstorm was tremendous. As I believe we have Show and Tell, Omniscience, Wish, and that's game. Put back whatever we want. That's. I feel like a Wish is kind of unnecessary, but okay, we'll keep them both.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's also, it's interesting to observe. Oh, okay. This is, yeah. I mean, if there's an Archon of Valor's Reach in Adam's
You're right.
hand,
You're right.
it's a very minimal thing. I mean, I don't think there's anything that can be done about it, right? Because it comes into play, and as it comes into play, you just name instant, and then
Yeah, that is true.
it looks like we drew the Forcible anyways.
Well, that's not going to help if the Archon comes in off of this, and it does not. So yeah, so this will take it down. So okay, looks like if we had brainstormed in turn 1, we would have won a turn earlier. However, this is going to be more than enough.
Yeah, risk versus reward kind of deal. I think it's okay. I don't. Elves is usually, it can kill on turn 2. It does have some pretty crazy hands, but we also, I think we had the Spell Pierce, right? Or did we draw that off the Brainstorm?
We drew it off the Brainstorm.
Okay, all right. Well, that's still fine. I think playing around the turn 2 is not that bad.
Yeah, no, I as I was saying, I think it's okay, but I'm not sure. We definitely could have gone for it, but
okay, and we're gonna get triple Emrakul here, and we could Cunning Wish for release the ants. We could also just play Emrakul, make it easy.
That'll work just fine.
Yep.
15 power Annihilator and Time Walk often gets the job done.
Yeah.
Not always, but usually.
Now this is interesting. So we're taking a look at the sideboard here. I really like bringing in the Pyroclasms. I really like bringing in the Lightning Bolt. Mm-hmm. I wonder if we're supposed to bring in cards like Flusterstorm and Echoing Truth.
My instinct would be to say no, and that would change if there are some hateful permanents on the Elves side.
Right, and so if we take a look at, if we get to take a look at Adam's deck, actually, I don't think there are any hateful permanents here. We see the one Collector Oof in the sideboard, not really that scary. There's 2 Thoughtseizes and 3 Cabal Therapies, which are almost a shoo-in from the Elves side. That's pretty good. Do you think there? What are the other cards that we might consider here?
I think it's just this card.
Okay.
I don't think we bother. I mean, Leyline of Void shuts off Intuition. I don't want to waste my time with that. Yeah, I think it's just the discard spells.
Maybe the Progenitus if we have enough cards to cut. You know, like this card is better than that, even though it's not really that good.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Yeah.
It's funny. Like I mentioned earlier, I was reading Julian's article today and last night from 7 years ago from his Bazaar of Moxen victory, and he talked about how the mix of discard spells in the Elf sideboard was 5, and do you run 3 Cabal Therapies, 2 Thoughtseize, or 2 and 3? And it's funny, and we still see that exact number 7 years later, the mixing of 3 and 2. But yeah, I think that's all we want.
Okay, I changed my mind actually, and this is because of the reason that you were mentioning earlier, which is imagine a world where one player, Andrew plays Show and Tell, right? We put Allosaurus Shepherd into play, and then we have an uncounterable trophy for whatever creature gets put into play off the Show and Tell. Or if it's like an Omniscience, we can just blow that up with the Assassin's Trophy in response to a Cunning Wish.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. That's reasonable, I guess. I mean, it would only get Gristlebrand, right?
Gristlebrand or Omniscience, one of the two. Yeah,
or Omniscience. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. That's interesting. If we did bring in the trophy, then we definitely would want to put in. Actually, maybe we even want to play. If it's Omniscience, we have to put in something with a trigger, so we can kill it. Yeah, so that would be like Visionary or something.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, if the Shepherd was already in play, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we're on 6 here, and we have only 1 land, but we have a Pyroclasm, and that's a very nice card to have.
Yeah, for sure. Against the deck full of 1 and 2 power creatures, I would definitely want the Pyroclasm for sure. Adam, I think, kept 7.
Yeah.
And is leading off Allosaurus Shepherd. That is kind of a scary start. I almost feel the top deck Lightning Bolt was so good there. You probably just
burn it off now. I think. Well, okay. So if a spell goes on the stack that we want to force, I guess we could bolt the Shepherd in response and then counter it. So,
exactly.
Yeah, so I think we're good just passing here.
One big downside, though, is that our blue card is actually the best card in our hand, the Brainstorm.
Yeah. If it comes down to, I think we'd probably brainstorm first and then pitch whatever blue card we found. And if we didn't find one, honestly, we'd say, okay, let's go to game 3 because we're just crippling ourselves if we force pitching that brainstorm here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is interesting. This is likely to miss, but could name brainstorm. Like, really, the names here are brainstorm or show and tell, I believe, right? I don't think you name anything else.
Sneak attack. That's
okay. There you go. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Jinx. Except I guess it wasn't really because I was behind you. But there were only 3 sneak attacks. There aren't 4 sneak attacks in this deck, are there? I don't think so.
3 maybe.
Yeah, I think there are 3. Yeah, there are 3. So that would not have been my choice. I think brainstorm or show and tell would have been the cards to go with, but.
Yeah, what's interesting here is that we aren't flashing back the Cabal Therapy immediately, and I'm probably doing this because of the brainstorm, right? Then we just kind of play a guessing game, and
you really can't flash it back immediately, and that's the reason to name brainstorm initially, so that on your flashback at least you know what you're hitting.
Ooh, F's in the chat for a dirty brainstorm there. That one was rough. I guess the other upside to waiting actually is we know they have a brainstorm, so we could maybe just get a better idea. Oh, we can name like show and tell, for example, after the brainstorm resolves. It's probably more likely to be in the hand. I guess it could also be on top of the deck too.
Well, the thing is, if you name brainstorm first, then you don't have to worry about it. It's gone, and if it's there, and either way, you know that you're hitting on the flashback.
Yeah, I really do like that Andrew kind of just like. What is it? He looked at him in the soul and was like, all right, you're not going to get this right, even though brainstorm is very likely to be named.
Right. And even if show and tell is named, which is the other likely choice, that would have been a miss. So I definitely think it's fine to do that. Now we're flashing it back. I don't know what we name here. Pyroclasm is likely to still be in the hand, so I think it's safe to name that.
Yep. And what's really interesting, too, is that Allosaurus Shepherd, if we get to enough mana, does play around Pyroclasm and Lightning Bolt.
Well, I guess. I mean, if we get to that point of mana, then we're probably just attacking for the win.
Good point. I agree.
But, so a couple things here. One, okay, we're flashing this back. We have to choose what to name. We know the 3 cards on the left, I believe, originally. What do we name? We named Gristlebrand, okay, and we hit. So that was a good step. But I was going to say, also interesting. So we sacrificed the Visionary. Obviously, there's no symbiote around. If there was, we could have sacrificed for Dryad Arbor and sacrificed that and maintained the Visionary. This also plays around Pyroclasm a little better, I suppose. So yeah, I guess I like that.
Yeah, could have fetched up the Dryad Arbor, Wooded Foothills, and then just flashback for free. Cabal Therapy, I think, is definitely... I don't know. I guess the game is slowing down a lot here now, so the discard effects we're definitely seeing them shine here. Here comes Dryad Arbor, and I assume we are going to be attacking, get in the red zone. Yeah,
that's tough to fetch out the Dryad Arbor knowing the Pyroclasm is there.
Wow, look at this. We're contemplating lightning bolting on upkeep, which is kind of important to keep us off 4 mana.
I have no objection to that.
So now I guess Andrew has to decide how greedy does he want to get. Does he want to risk the turn for natural order, or does he want to potentially untap and resolve a Pyroclasm for maximum value? And I think he's going for the latter.
Chooses not to do it. Okay. Now, oh boy, I mean, Elves knows that Pyroclasm is in hand. Do you have to give them some credit?
Yeah,
they know it's there. So are they just doing this, throwing this Dryad Arbor away for free to get it damaged in? There's no way, right?
I agree with you. 100%. And what's also kind of interesting to me here is, let's think about it, right? Like, assuming we drew a blue card for the Force of Will, why would we, contemplate bolting the Dryad Arbor?
Wow. Zenith for 2 into the part.
It might even just be a forced play. I don't know. If this is getting Visionary, it's not that bad. We're cycling the Green Sun Zenith, and it's not like we're going down on cards. I think the idea here might be we need to get some pressure in, and then maybe we get to.
If we're trying to force out what is that?
Symbiote.
Symbiote. Okay.
Cunning.
I was going
Okay.
to say, if we're trying to force out the Pyroclasm, I suppose we're accomplishing that, but maybe we could have done it with less.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, from my perspective, if I see Dryad Arbor and Allosaurus Shepherd, I'm probably just going to fire out the Pyroclasm on that and not get too greedy.
Yeah, I agree, especially with a bolt left over. I feel like we could have done this either by not fetching for Arbor or by not going for Symbiote.
Yeah.
We're gonna get 2 cards, I guess, either way, because the Shepherd's gonna be saved. So actually, maybe this is fine because we are only trading. It's not like we're trading for 3 cards. We're only trading for 2 if it's even cast, which it doesn't look like it's gonna be. So
at this point, though, I am not very happy. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. Okay, Bolt means the Force of Will is live. I got nervous for a second thinking that we would put our shields down here, but we still have some gameplay here.
Mm-hmm.
Bang.
Okay. So yeah, so we're likely to see here. You think Bolt, Shepherd. So the Bolt gets wasted, and then we hardcast Force, and Shepherd comes back down. This is tolerable. I mean, the game is going long.
Wait a minute. I think I'm underselling this. I just realized Adam is a genius here. He leveraged Green Sun Zenith to sneak in. Never mind. Is that true? I'm trying to think here. He leveraged the Green Sun Zenith on X = 2 maybe to deceive Andrew into thinking he was going to get a Visionary, and then instead he got the Wirewood Symbiote to make sure that the Allosaurus Shepherd stayed alive?
Okay, maybe.
That's pretty smart. I don't know.
I mean, definitely paying extra mana on Zenith to conceal what you're getting is worthwhile in some scenarios. We're trading... Okay, this Force is still a 2-for-1 because we lose the Petal, but at this point in the game, the Petal's really not worth much, so it's...
Right.
Yeah. All right, so Bolt takes down the Shepherd. Force takes down the Glimpse. Shepherd gets recast, and then...
This looks really good. Ooh.
Okay, Grim Ranger. This is... Okay, so this is... Now, we're still losing 2 cards to the Pyroclasm, so it's not actually getting any worse. Unless we're just winning this turn. Which is also possible.
What? Adam!
Dang.
With the... Oh my god. Glimpse baiting the Bolt, getting Crater Hoof, attacking for... Okay, maybe not... Oh, is this lethal? No, I don't think it is.
I think it's 14. I can't tell how big the Crater Hoof is. No, maybe it's...
It's 14 damage exactly.
I think it's 14. Is it 13? It might be 13. It is 14.
Okay.
That was...
Even if it wasn't like untap attack with Hoof the next turn, that was incredibly beautiful. I gotta say, Adam, well played for sure.
That was definitely good. The and also, yeah, I guess even if it wasn't lethal, there's no way the Stinky Show can recover at that point anyway. Mm-hmm. That was how off. Oh boy. So
I guess brainstorming the show and tell would have done
died with Pyroclasm in hand. That's regrettable, and almost certainly means that things could have gone differently. But that was sharply played. So,
and I think this was entirely possible due to the new element that Allosaurus Shepherd brought to the new dynamic that it brought to the matchup, right? Because you want the Allosaurus Shepherd to die for sure.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, let's talk about this mulligan for a second. Well,
hold on. Let's talk about this hand. There hasn't been a mulligan yet.
Oh gosh.
A blue source leads to a turn 2 win or a turn 2 setup with force protection. Okay, we don't keep it. I don't fault that, but the with a couple turns to draw, maybe even how many turns do you think you can afford?
I don't even want.
Is third turn island still good enough there? It might be.
With Gristlebrand, probably. But it's weird, right? Like I've had my fair share of games. I played Sneak Attack a long time ago, and I've had my fair share of hands where you look at the double ancient tomb, you're like, okay, I'll get there. And then, SpongeBob text 2 minutes later, it doesn't look too good here. But the Ponder is going to find some good stuff here.
Yep.
We still have a Brainstorm and access to Pyroclasm again. This time we're probably going to cast the Pyroclasm sooner rather than later just to make sure that a repeat of Game 2 doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Bang.
Ball therapy again. Okay. Let's see if we can hit it this time on the blind one.
Is this going to be... Are we going to name Show and Tell here? No, it's Brainstorm.
Brainstorm, okay.
Wow.
So what's interesting here is that the Impulse I don't know what order the Impulse and Sneak Attack are in. Okay, the Impulse is on top. Either way, though, the Impulse is not castable this turn. Wouldn't have been castable because the Sneak Attack would have been below that. Never mind me. I know what I mean. I'm just not expressing it well. Anyway, so we see Cradle here on turn 2 after that therapy, and then Birch Lord. So there is the choice here. Now, the top card is known to us. Obviously, it's Impulse. Elves just knows that the card is known, but doesn't know what it is, and it could be a shuffle could be forced by therapy Emrakul.
Yeah. But that's a really interesting point. But I also feel like naming the Emrakul here is kind of tough, right? Pyroclasm being in the hand. Also, I guess Echoing Truth is definitely the worst of the 3 cards that we know about. Pyroclasm is probably a very good consideration as well.
It looked like we're considering fetching there an upkeep, which I absolutely would not have done. And I agree that we didn't do that. We need the Impulse to be able to get additional mana. Now, whether you Pyroclasm this turn or not, okay, it looks like we are going to do that, and I think that's totally fine.
Yep.
And actually, given that, oh wow, what the heck is this?
Crop rotation, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah, it is crop rotation. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What I was going to say was, if we have our 2 creatures in play, and we know there's a Pyroclasm in hand, if we flashback the therapy, we lose one of the creatures. By just passing, we lose both of them. And all we gain is keeping therapy in the graveyard, which may actually matter.
Okay, there's a Nettle Sentinel, and we're off to the races here.
I mean,
Joe.
It's likely just a value. Yeah, this is just draw some cards, which is obviously great. We basically Ancestral Recalled for the Glimpse of Nature, and I think we'll see Cabal Therapy flashback here. Maybe not. I think we will. If it was me, I would take out the Sneak Attack right now.
Well, we don't know about the Sneak Attack. We only know about the Emrakul and the Echoing Truth. So,
okay.
Yeah.
If you're right, then sure. I think we know about the Sneak Attack.
Okay.
Maybe not. Okay. Well, if we did, we probably would have named it. So maybe you're right.
Yeah. Impulse needs to find some fast mana, maybe in the form of land. We definitely need lands. I guess Ancient Tomb is going to be the best one here to find.
Right. Yeah. One of the soul lands would be ideal.
This also.
It's okay. I mean, well, I guess it means any other land is good, but it also means we need a land and a creature.
Okay, maybe the Echoing Truth is not so bad here. If Craterhoof comes into play,
doesn't seem. I'm certainly not happy about it, but yeah, I guess you're right. And there are things it can defend against. 1, 2. That's 6 mana. We could activate Shepherd here, but that's not. I guess it's a lethal attack in 2 turns.
Although it's not too bad either.
Smashed by the Echoing Truth.
Oh yeah, Echoing Truth would kind of cause problems here. This is actually like surprisingly close given the quality of Andrew's hand here. I don't think Andrew's hand is particularly interesting.
All right, Zenith 4-2. Thank you guys for joining us today in the chat. We are in the finals. We are in our last game of the tournament, waiting to crown our victor for the day. Whether it's Elves or Sneaking Show is still unknown.
Okay, Elvish Visionary.
Yeah, 2 for Visionary. Now, so if we attack for 4, we go to 50. If we attack for 4, then Shepherd activation is lethal next turn. If there was no Echoing Truth.
Correct.
So Impulse into a soul land or a creature and then untap and draw the other one is the ideal scenario here.
Oh, Pyroclasm not too bad.
Yeah, it is for sure. Pyroclasm is excellent. And yeah, I mean, if we don't take that, where are we taking Brainstorm and then
we're priced into it?
Brainstorming into we have to take Pyroclasm. Yeah, that's a great draw. Or I guess it's not a draw, but it's a great impulse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could kind of see maybe a reason to take the Brainstorm, potentially kill them, but this Pyroclasm is just going to...
Yeah, it's so tough. You need your 3 cards to be creature plus soul land or land plus Lotus Petal, and otherwise you're hosed. That's a lot to give up.
Agreed. Pyroclasm going to sweep the board here. There's no protection from it. No Wirewood Symbiotes, no Quirion Rangers. And just like that, the game got reset. Adam has 2 cards in hand. Andrew's got Force of Will and Echoing Truth, so he's got a lot of the scary stuff covered, but neither player exactly there yet. I guess getting closer and closer.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to be playing our last card here, whatever it is. We're getting our... Oh, my... Wait, what is this? Oh, it's a morph. It's a virtual Rangers.
I mean, you know, when the cards are dealt this way, sometimes you just got to play your hand out and turn your creature sideways, so...
Okay, so Virtual Rangers in its stealth mode, and I mean, oof. Cunning Wish, what's left on the board? Looks like all the sweepers came in.
Right.
So there's Intuition, which can get Show and Tells. It'll take 2 turns, but it looks like 2 turns are available. Actually, I take that back. We can't get Show and Tells because the problem is not an enabler. The problem is we don't have a creature.
Yeah, I think we're more likely to draw mana than anything else. So
yeah, well, we don't have to decide yet. We can go for Intuition, which I'm sure we will this turn, and then we can decide. Hopefully, we draw a land next turn, and then we can decide what we want to do.
Oh, we're tapping lots of mana here. Adam, what did you top that? Ooh,
there's a National Order, so that's gonna get that. Let's see. Is there any way that this can resolve and then use Echoing Truth and save the Force of Will?
I mean,
it's not going to be a ton of damage. It would be 23. It'd be 7 damage versus the Echoing Truth. Okay.
Yeah. If you Echoing Truth the Crater Hoof, it's not enough. But I think we still do it because Archon is not going to be good here.
Okay, so that gets forced. 3 damage comes in.
Yeah, this is super close. I almost wonder if does this mean that Adam might not have Progenitus in post board because he could have attacked for 4 and then played the order post combat. Yeah, he was definitely going to go for Crater Hoof there because it's lethal. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so there is a land. Boy, this is our last couple matches have been quite good. I'm enjoying them
extremely.
Okay, so we see. All right, we're gonna play Sneak Attack first. If we draw a creature, now we win, or at least are very, very strong, and basically win. And then if we don't, Cunning Wish for Intuition for a creature wins the turn after. So actually, let's see. We'd have to pick up 4 more damage next turn, and there's nothing there. Okay,
Ponder. Is this a lethal
terrifying.
Ponder? I can't look, Joe. I can't look. Oh.
Okay, you didn't miss much. There's nothing there. We're shuffling. Shuffle into a brainstorm. Okay, now is a choice. Now what do? Do you brainstorm or do you go for the guarantee by wishing?
No, I go for the brainstorm here.
I think, because I think the fail case on the brainstorm, if you don't get a creature, you're still very likely to get a land, in which case the Cunning Wish is still active. But the only downside is if somehow you take 4 damage this turn, and that doesn't seem too likely. 4 extra damage, I mean. Well, I guess a Natural Order drawn would have done it. So there is real risk. But this looks to be a guaranteed win. What could break this up?
Assassin's Trophy right
Surgical
now?
Surgical would do it?
No, Surgical wouldn't. Oh, yeah, it would. Oh, well, not with the Lotus Petal now.
No, what? Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, no, it wouldn't have anyway. Yeah, because you could activate your... Yeah, those spells even unnecessary. Okay, so I think this is it. I think we have reached the end of our event. And, how many creatures are in play? There's 2, right? There's 6 permanents, so Emrakul gets everything?
Looks like it 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I mean, there's one option here that we're not considering, which is maybe Adam gets super lucky and has like a land and a creature coming in soon, and the Emrakul, you could still fizzle here from the show and tell side, right?
You can. It's always possible. That brainstorming hand makes it pretty unlikely, but sure, it could happen.
And one of the Dryad Arbors is already in the graveyard, so there isn't even a lethal threat here. I almost wonder if playing the Verdant Catacombs was kind of a mistake here.
Oh, that's reasonable. just because we start over, because it doesn't help us, and now we start over with one less land. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so whole board goes by. Both players at 4 life now.
4-4. It's a tie game.
Yeah, exactly even, right?
Anybody.
All right, you take the elf side. I'll take the Sneak and Show side.
Oh, you're on the shark team, not the elf team. You've made your choice. Your allegiance.
All right, let's see a brainstorm.
This has got to be it.
This has got to be it. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
We have the shuffle, and so we'll keep the Pyroclasm. Oh, this is so tough. How is Elves ever going to get out of this? They have to get through Pyroclasm and do 4 damage before Sneak and Show draws anything.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now, Joe. I'm playing for the highlight reel. Let's see it.
I mean, I guess they do take a point, so they're at 3. Cunning Wish gets. There's another Intuition, I believe.
Is there?
I think so. I think the one in the main got boarded out.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. So that should do it. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's 7 mana to Wish and Intuition, and Intuition, Intuition, and we only have 6. So, and the turtle setup. Oh yeah, Elves doesn't even get anything going with their draw steps, just sitting on the forest.
So close. But that being said, it looks like the writing will be on the wall here for the result of this match. Just going through the motions here.
Veil of Summer would work.
That would work if it was.
Veil of Summer counters Intuition. That would have been a really, really epic.
I'm not even sure.
The same idea. Dakota in the chat had the same idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be this point. You get and the hand was double Zenith Thoughtseize. So losing that extra land did make a little bit of a difference. Probably didn't decide the game. And we have our victor. And me being a terrible commentator actually slipped. Andrew Fiedler, playing Sneaky Chew, I knew that much, is our champion today. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Andrew.
We have $500 coming your way and a pack of KMC sleeves.
Hey, there we go.
Don't forget that. Congratulations to him. Also to our finalists in our top 8. Really, everyone that played today. We had 105 players, which is a great turnout for us. Super exciting day. I think you enjoy yourself, Emerald?
Oh, this was great. We got to see some. I mean, first of all, I got to hang out with you, so obviously I did enjoy myself. Yeah. But on top of that, we got A+ tier legacy. So I'm very happy, and it's no surprise. I mean, a lot of the top 8 was just certified legacy grinders who are at it day in, day out. So props to them for sure. I'm super excited. For the next legacy event that you guys have coming up. That one's going to be awesome. What else? There's more to it than that, right?
Yeah. So I'll go through the whole set of announcements. In the meantime, if you guys can put a link, there's some questions in the chat as to where the deck list will be available. I believe it's on the Nerd Rage website starting tomorrow, I'm going to guess, but okay, the deck lists are on MTG Melee right now, and they'll be on the Nerd Rage website tomorrow. So here is our series that we're going to be kicking off next month and lasting for the rest of the year. NRG Series Online Autumn 2020. We're going to have 5 $1,000 cash events alternating between Magic Online and Arena. The formats are going to be Legacy. There'll be 2 standard events, 2 modern events, and the 1 Legacy event. The first event is September 13th, and it will be Legacy again. So about every 3 weeks, we're going to have an event. The top 8 of each event gets invited to the Arena Qualifier Weekend, which is the same thing that you get invited to for finishing high on the ladder each month on Arena. The winner also receives a round 1 bye and free entry into our Showdown event, which is the culmination of the series and will happen in December. The Season Showdown, $2,500 cash prize will be put on Magic Online, and the winner of that gets an invite to the upcoming set championship. We don't know the set name yet, but this is effectively what the Pro Tour has become now. So this is actually a PTQ Pro Tour qualifier for the winner of the Season Showdown. The Showdown is not something you have to qualify for. The trials, you can win money in the trials. You can win a buy and free entry into the Showdown, but anyone can enter the Showdown on their own and play. So this is something we've put together with help from Wizards of the Coast, providing the entries slots, the qualification slots to the winners. And we're really excited about this. So we hope you'll join us for a good chunk of that. We know that Paper Magic is on hiatus now for some unknown amount of time, and how things go in the world and in this series will kind of determine what next year looks like for us. We don't know if it's going to be online. We don't know if it'll be paper. We don't know if it'll be both. But for the rest of this year, this is our offering. So we hope you will partake, whether you're playing or watching. Either way is great for us. And really, the more the merrier. I mean, if chat is healthy, and chat's been fairly healthy all day today, I think we've been checking in from time to time, seeing ourselves being corrected from saying things that were wrong. Well, at least I've done that a few times. And so it was really great. We're looking to grow the series. If you have suggestions, you can put them in chat. We're definitely checking it out right now. Anurag, anything else you want to say?
No, I'm glad to be here, LFG. I mean, this was a great event, and I'm so happy that the next one is going to be Legacy as well. I do appreciate that you guys are supporting the Legacy. I mean, to be honest, also props to the Legacy community. You guys showed up today. This is what all, stores, any TO wants to see. They want to see people attending. They want to see, just a healthy, vibrant tournament. And that's what we got today. This was incredible. Congratulations once again to Andrew for winning with Sneak and Show. Played very well. And the finals was just a crazy back and forth. Turn 8 with a bunch of interaction from combo decks. It was pretty incredible. So
thank you. Good time. 105 players turned out today. That's great. Owner of Nerd Rage, Norman Cohen, just turned 50. And, if it turned out today had been like 30 players, he probably would have had a heart attack and it would be the end of Nerd Rage. So I'm glad you guys showed up to play today. The Nerd Rage Gaming Series is representing owner Norman Cohen, sponsors Card Hoarder and KMC Sleeves. And for Jillian Knob and Anurag Das, I'm Joe Lissette. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next month.